Okay.
All right, we're recording now. This is lessons, it's units 25 and 26 from textbook, intermediate, introductory grammar of Rabbinic Hebrew, of course, that we were working through. So, your name is Eduardo that's missing, and Michael's missing.
Is Michael gonna come back? Do you know? Is he still in your intermediate course?
He's still in our class. Yeah, we're about to finish. We've got a lesson tonight in academic transcription. Should be fun. And then, or transliteration, whatever. And then next week we have one reading lesson, the last reading lesson in the textbook. And then we have one wrap-up session. So basically we have 3 more lessons and we're finished, which is amazing. But I thought that maybe he would be here today. I didn't ask him, but I thought he would be.
We don't have too many more than 3.
Yeah, we're getting close to the end. All right, here we are. We have our first introductory text on page 191 of the textbook. The second one is really long, so I think I'll just read it really quickly if you don't mind, and I'll just zip through it because it's a long one. But this is the first one.
All right, I can read this one.
Go for it.
Zacharnu et hadaga asher nochal b'mitzrayim chinam. V'ki yesh ba'anyam ba'inyan. I'm not familiar with the use, but
inyan is a matter, an issue, an interest.
Ah, okay. So like in this context. Shahayu hamitzrayim notnim lahem dagim b'chinam. Halo kavar ne'emar va'ata lehu ivdu v'teven lo yinatain lachem. Im teven lo hayu notanim, I presume. That the segel shouldn't be there.
Yeah, notnim. I don't know what happened there. Sorry.
Lahem chinam v'dagim hayu notnim.
Sorry, I'm just fixing those vowels.
Lahem.
That's driving me crazy. I don't know why it's like that. I don't know what happened. Okay, there we are.
Okay. Lahem b'chinam. Uma ani omer hinam min hamitzvot. So we remember the fish which we ate in Egypt for free.
Yeah, this is from the Bible, right? From the book of Numbers.
Yeah.
Why would it be using nochal for the past tense?
I'm guessing because it's continuous. Right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Like that, which we used to eat.
Or we would eat. We would.
Yeah, which we would eat. That's probably a better translation. And so for this matter, that the Egyptians gave them fish freely without price. Oh, and this was in the chapter. It's something like, does it not already say? Does it not already say? This is about the straw. Now go and work. And they did not give them teven, the straw for the bricks. And if they did not give them straw freely, then did they give them fish freely?
It looks like v'chi is supposed to be like an interrogative particle, like ha'im.
Yeah, well, it's something like, can we say? Like, is it possible in this context that in this place that the Egyptians were giving them fish.
And
The
that's
Hinam.
also poorly pointed, the halo. I don't know what I was thinking. What was wrong with me with the pointing? I did it quickly. That's the thing. It's here, this one. Also problematic, ugly. Hello.
Oh.
Hello. Okay. Now it's correct. Wow, I hope I don't have too many mistakes like that. It's gonna kill me today. So here's the second text. Ma Talmud lomar. באו ורשו את הארץ אשר נשבע אדוני לאבותיכם, לאברהם, ליצחק וליעקב. Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 8. כדאי אברהם בעצמו, כדאי יצחק בעצמו, כדאי יעקב בעצמו. משל למלך שנתן לעבדו, לא עבדו. What did this even happen? שנתן לעבדו שדה אחת במתנה, לא נתנה לו אלא כמות שהיא. עבד העבד ההוא והשביחה ואמר, מה בידי? לא נתנה לי אלא כמות שהיא. חזר ונטעה כרם ואמר, מה בידי? לא נתנה לי אלא כמות שהיא. כך שנתן הקדוש ברוך הוא לאברהם אבינו את הארץ, לא נתנה לו אלא כמות שהיא, שנאמר, קום התהלך בארץ לאורכה ולרוחבה, כי לך אתננה. Genesis 13:17. עמד אברהם והשביחה, שנאמר, והייתה אשל בבאר שבה, בראשית כ"א למ"ג. עמד יצחק והשביחה, שנאמר, ויזרע יצחק בארץ ההיא, וימצא בשנה ההיא 100 שערים, ראשית ק"ו י"ב. עמד יעקב והשביחה, שנאמר, ויקן את חלקת השדה, בראשית ל"ג. That should have been in red. That's a verse quote. Okay. So
did you not get my version?
Huh?
Did you not get the version I sent?
I had already typed this up before I
okay.
received it.
Okay.
So, but all of the exercises from that unit are from yours. So what does the Torah say? Come and dispossess the land which the Lord swore to your fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It would have been enough to say Abraham by himself. It would have been enough to say Isaac by himself. It would have been enough to say Jacob by himself. A parable is like a king that gave to his servant one field as a gift. He didn't give it to him. He only gave it to him as it is. That servant worked and he beautified it. He improved it in some way.
Improved, yeah.
And he said, "What is in my hand? It was not given, or it was given to me only as is." He returned and he planted a vineyard, and he said, "What's in my hand? It was given only as it is." That's how the Holy One, blessed is He, gave to Abraham, our father, the land. He didn't give it to him except as is, which is said, or it's said in the scripture, get up, walk about in the land on its length and width, for I'm going to give it to you. Abraham stood and ishbiach, whatever that means. Leshabeach in the PL means to praise. Maybe it means evaluated it.
No, it's to improve. In the Shevi'it, they talk about what you can do to a field in the 7th year, and it's always to improve it.
Okay.
How many
So
times
he
you can
improved
plow
it.
and stuff, yeah.
As it is said, he planted some kind of tree in Beersheba, an eshel tree. What kind is eshel? Do you know?
I don't know.
I'm not good with trees.
Is it an oak? I think it's now Ilan. It's Tubal. I'm not sure.
His translation says tamarisk.
Don't know what
Oh,
that
that's
is
it.
either.
Yeah. That's it.
I don't know what a tamarisk is. What are these words? I don't know Eshel, but maybe we'll look it up and see what it says. I'm going to make this text thread while I'm here.
Yeah, it's a tamarisk, but we need a picture of a tamarisk if you're not a botanist.
Or an Egyptologist. 'Cause Tamarisk is
Oh.
very important in Egypt.
It
Oh,
is.
is it?
Oh.
So I fixed that text. All right, here we go. And Isaac came up and he improved it, where it says, and he sowed, Isaac sowed in that land, and he found that year 100 gates. He found 100 gates. I don't know. Mea Shearim is the name of a neighborhood in Jerusalem, but I don't know what it. You know what that verse is talking about? Genesis 26:12. Genesis. Read them that same year. Oh, 100-fold.
Ah,
That's nice.
It was found in that year that his harvest was 100-fold. Yeah.
Jacob stood up and improved it, where it says, and he acquired part of the field.
Okay.
Okay. All right, that's a long one. So, look, you got a short one. Look at that.
Okay. Where are we? Number 1.
Mhm.
Okay. Lo yitain lo ad shetidrosh et achicha im ramai hu im eno ramai. Where'd you put the accent on eno?
On the end, if you don't write accent, it's assumed.
Yeah, eno.
Numeral.
Okay. You should not give it to him until he searches or seeks out his brother. What's the context?
But it's second person until you seek out
Until
your
you
brother.
until you search out your or seek out your brother. Oh, it's Bala Matzia, yeah. Whether he is a fraud or whether he is not a fraud.
Or a tricker. Someone who
Yeah.
trick. You want to do number 3 too? Yours was very short.
Okay. Amar Rabbi Yosef, v'chi mi shemodi'eni ezohi betzah gdola ve'ezohi ktana, ela hakol lefi da'ato shel ha'ro'eh. This is, you could translate this idiomatically, but Rabbi Yossi said, it's v'chi is the interrogative. Is there anyone who can tell me which egg is big and which egg is little? And Elah's like, no, probably not. All is in the eye of the beholder. Yeah, everything is according to the opinion of the one who's looking.
Mhm. All right. Jordan, number 5.
Okay. Hanoder min hayarak mutar badiluin v'Rabbi Akiva oser. Oser? Is that really? Yeah, oser. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Amru lo Rabbi Akiva. V'halo omer adam lishulcho kach li yarak. V'hu omer lo matzati ele dilu'in amar lahem. Kain hadavar. O Shema omer hulo. Lo matzati ele kitnit ele shahadilu'in. Bichlal yarak. Ve'ein hakitnit bichlal yarak. Okay. So the one who takes a vow from yarak, which are vegetables. It is permitted, I don't know, dilu'in.
Apparently, this is the plural of dla'at, which is a pumpkin, a gourd.
A gourd. It's permitted for him to eat pumpkins, gourds. Rabbi Akiva prohibits. And they, presumably the Chachmim, said to Rabbi Akiva, doesn't one say to Shucho, to his person that he sent, take from me a vegetable? And he says, I did not find anything but gourds. And he said to them, like, yes, it is so, like something like that. Or perhaps he says to him, I did not find anything but kitnit. You said kitnit, beans. What you said.
A legume.
Yeah. So that gourds are in the category of vegetables and not beans in the category of vegetables.
All right, yeah. Legumes aren't included in the category of vegetables, but pumpkins are, gourds are. What if the la'at in this case would include zucchini?
Oh, yeah.
Zucchini is a type of kishu. Anyway, number 7. Aseh lecha saraf v'shim oto al nes v'haya kol hanashuch v'ra'a oto v'chai. Make yourself a seraph and put it upon a banner, upon a stick that stands up in the air. I don't know, something that you're holding up for everyone to see. And it will be anyone bitten, if he sees it, he will live. וכי נחש ממית או נחש מחיה, אלא בזמן שישראל מסתכלים כלפי מעלה ומשעבדים את ליבם לאביהם שבשמיים, היו מתרפאים, ואם לאו, היו נימוקים. The serpent, so could the serpent kill or the serpent bring to life? Could it be that the serpent kills or that it brings to life? But while Israel was looking upwards and enslaving their hearts to their Father in heaven, or causing their heart to serve their Father in heaven, they were being healed. But when they were not, they were nimokim. Nimokim sounds like nimolim, sounds like a nifal of
Makak.
what is this word?
Makak. To perish.
Makak.
Makak, perish, or to rot.
What a terrible word. Makak.
Makak, yeah.
Nimak, nimok. To be softened, decay, to be squashed beyond recognition. Okay. Lehamek. Okay, fun. Next word.
Okay.
Trying to hit next. That doesn't. Okay, there we go.
Oh, this is a classic text. אומרים צדוקים כובלים אנו עליכם פרושים שאתם אומרים כתבי הקודש ממטעים את הידיים בספרי הומרוס or hamiras. It should be an samech. It's
I looked it
Homer.
up and it said Hamiram. That's what I
Yeah,
found. I know
it's
this is
yeah,
Samech there, but I couldn't find Samech.
yeah, it's a classic correction. But Sifrei Hamaras or Miram, I don't know. We don't know who that is. Enam mitamim et hayadayim.
It says
Amar-
in Joshua, it says conjecture is that it's Homeros.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
I didn't check in. I don't have Albeck right next to me, but okay. Amar Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai. V'chi en lano ala proshim ele zo bilvad. Okay, the Sadducees say, we have this against you, you Pharisees, that you say, or that you claim, the holy writings, the holy scriptures, make the hands unclean, but the books of Homer, that's the idea, the Homeric books, that's why they changed it to Samech. The books of Homer do not defile the hands. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai said, is it not so that we have against the Pharisees only this one thing? So
Cool.
yeah, the meaning of it's also kind of strange. But yeah,
Mhm. In the textbook, it had Kitbei HaKodesh, which is weird. I've never seen that before. Kitbei in the textbook. I was like, oh, that's weird. Did you see Kitbei or Kitbei? Because I only know Kitbei HaKodesh, and that's,
and the textbook had what?
Kitbei. But that shva should be medial because it represents the reduction of a vowel.
So you left the dogish out of there?
Yeah, I've never seen dogish there. It's weird.
Okay.
It feels very wrong to say Kitbei.
Yeah, I don't know. The textbook also says hameras.
Yeah, I saw. That's the only thing I saw was the pointing that was there, and I said, "Well, that's ugly." So I just, looked around, and what I found in Jastro that was Hamiram. So that's why I put it according to Jastro. I didn't know what to do with it.
Okay.
According to 11, yeah.
Mipnei malo ne'emru aseret hadivarot mithalat haTorah.
Mitchilat, sorry.
Yeah, mitchilat, at the beginning of the Torah. Why? For what reason are the Ten Commandments not at the beginning of the Torah? Mashlu mashal lema hadavar domeh. Parable. To what may this be compared? An analogy, probably is better. Lemelech shenichnas lamdina amar lahem emloch alechem amrulo kolum asita lanu tova shetim loch alenu. So to a king who enters a province and says to them, the people who live there, I am going to rule over you. And they say to him, what have you done good for us that you will rule over us?
וכי האח היה משה יכול להפשיט את בגדיו של אהרון כסדרן. I don't know what that means. I think it means, how was it possible for Moses to take Aaron's clothes off in the proper order? וכי האח היה יכול משה להלביש את אלעזר בגדים כסדרן, the same idea that how was it possible for Moses to clothe Eleazar in the proper order? I don't remember Moses taking Aaron's clothes off or putting Eleazar's clothes on, but okay.
Okay. ואם אין לאיש גואל, במדבר, hey. It's supposed to be hey, chet, isn't it?
I changed it because I looked it up. I thought I looked it up. Maybe I didn't look this up. I know I was looking up a few of the verses and wasn't finding them like they said, and I changed references. Hold on, let's see. Bamidbar, chapter 5. Five, 8. It is 8. Sorry, that one I didn't look up. I thought I did. I just messed it up. Okay.
No, it's a typical change. Even in the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Brill one, there's a lot of times there's a hey instead of a chet or chet instead of a hey.
Yeah, it's a professional mistake.
רבי ישמעאל אומר, וכי יש לך אדם בישראל שאין לו גואל? Yeah. I guess the ve'im here is supposed to be like the v'chi. Is there not? Is there? But how do we translate in the okay, not if someone doesn't have a redeemer? Is it a question there? I don't know.
No, I don't think it's a question in the original text. Saying
Okay.
it's just saying conditional. If somebody
Okay.
doesn't have a redeemer,
And if somebody doesn't have a redeemer in Israel, somebody doesn't have a redeemer. Rabbi Ishmael says, is it even possible that there's a man in Israel that doesn't have a redeemer?
yeah, literally, is it possible that you have a man in Israel?
Ah, yeah, that you find or have,
Yeah. 17.
V'yanusu mishana echa.
Oh my God. Is that right? Mishana Echa?
Nine. It's me.
Shana Echa. No.
Sonecha.
Deuteronomy or Numbers 10:35.
It's supposed to be sonecha, I think.
Sonecha. Yeah, that's not right. That's for sure. But
No, it's a participle, a PL participle, and it's people that I'm gonna just paste it in here. Hold on. Well, that didn't work, did it?
Misanecha. Okay. Not misonecha. Misanecha. Yeah.
Why doesn't it let me choose to? There we go.
Okay. Misanecha.
So I think it's people that hate you.
Yeah.
yeah, so it's presumably that like may your enemies flee, something like that. Those who hate you. V'chi shomim lifnei mish she'emar v'haya ha'olam. Uvrov G'oncha taharos kamecha. V'ki yesh kamim lifnei mi she'emar v'haya ha'olam.
That's just a big long title, by the way. Misha Amar v'haya olam. The one who spoke and the world was. It means God.
Yeah, so key here again is a question, introducing a question. So it's, are there enemies? Haters just makes it sound very unmishnaic. Are there haters before God? And then Uvrov. What is
What
Think
is
about-
Geoncha? Is that like greatness, height? It looks like Gaon, which to me means genius, but obviously it doesn't mean genius. Uberov Geoncha daros kamecha.
I think it's pride.
In your great pride, you will destroy those who rise against you.
Look here. Go on, greatness, superiority. Oh man, I don't know. What verse is that?
Exodus 15:7. In the Lexham English Bible, it says, "In the greatness of your majesty, you overthrew those standing up to you."
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Okay, Majesty.
The greatness of your majesty. Overthrow. And are there those who rise up in the presence of the one who spoke and the world was?
Yeah.
Okay.
זה אחד מן הדברים שאמר משה לפני המקום, הודיעני אם אתה עושה לי, אם אי אתה עושה לי. אמר לו הקדוש ברוך הוא, אני עושה. This is one of the things that Moses said before the Holy One, before God, Hamakom. Let me know if it is you who is doing this, or if it is not you doing this. The Holy One, blessed is He, said, I am doing. And that is the end of this unit. So Fichidat Kaf Hey, and we have 26 Kaf Vav.
Okay. המתפלל וטעה סימן רע לו, ואם שליח ציבור הוא סימן רע לשולחיו, ששלוחו של אדם כמותו. The one who prays and makes a mistake, this is a bad sign for him. And if his there's something's missing, shaliach. But that's how it was in Kaufman. So okay.
No, that's right. Shliach Tzibur is the one who
Okay.
does the prayers in public,
The one who does what?
the public prayers.
Okay. And if there's the public, if he's somebody who does public prayers, it's
it's like imagine if you're praying by yourself and you make a mistake while you're praying, you say something wrong, then it's a bad sign for you. But if the Shliach Tzibur, the one that everyone is basically chosen to be the representative of the community, he's up praying for everyone. If he makes a mistake, then it's a bad sign for the one who sends him. That is for the congregation.
Okay. Because the one who sends him, because I want to say proxy, the shaluach is the one who is sent. The one who is sent from a man is like himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Number 4.
Now again. Ve'elu chayav lahachriz matzah perot bakeli.
And that was the word right there, Kelly.
Bakeli.
Did you get that from Kaufman, or is that in the textbook? I didn't even look.
No, what number are we on?
Number 4.
In the textbook is Kelly, yeah?
Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Oh,
But did you find that in Kaufman also?
Yeah, I'm sure that's the form there. Yeah.
ochli kamot shahu meot bakis ochis kamot ochis kamot shahu chayav lahachriz. So for these, one is obligated to announce that he found it. Yeah,
You found
because
proof, no?
Well, but but it is if he found it, but that has to be in parentheses because then it's but if one found produce inside a vessel or a vessel itself, and likewise a pouch with
What's meot?
Hmm.
Coins.
coins. Oh yeah, okay, a pouch with coins in a pouch, or the pouch on its own
Okay.
is obligated to announce that he found them.
It's interesting. Keys seems like a detached container, right? Something that you carry coins in, purse or something.
Mhm.
Today it's used for what's attached to your garments. It's a pocket.
Oh,
You
That's-
still put coins in it,
artique.
but it's attached to you. Hmm?
What is it? Artique or something like this?
Nautic. Nautic.
Artique, yeah.
the same thing happened in English. A pocket in Georgian English is a purse or a wallet.
Interesting. Brilliant. All right. Oh, by the way, we have 4 of these on one page, one slide, which means that these are very short. והשני אומר, אף אני כמוהו, והשלישי אומר, אף אני כמוהו. So the second person says, I'm also like him. The third one says, I'm also like him. I don't know who he is, but everybody wants to be like him.
Okay. רבי אליעזר אומר, את שנטמא באב הטומאה, בין בפנים, בין בחוץ, בין בחוץ, יישרף בחוץ, ואת נטמא, בבלע, what is that? I don't know what that is. Bivlad hatuma. It's supposed to be okay. It's I know what it is. Bivlad hatuma ben bachutz ben bifnim yisaref bifnim. Rabbi Eliezer says the one, probably concerning the one who has been defiled or made unclean by a major, an of uncleanliness, whether that's inside or whether
That's like a nit pa'al, right? The nitama, I think it's nit pa'al.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Whether it's outside or whether it's inside, he should be burned outside. And regarding that, whoever was defiled, or the thing, or the thing, or defiled by and this is supposed to be like veled or a yeled or a veled or something like this.
Walad.
It's it's not an av tumah, but it's one of the undercategories, the subcategories of tumah, of uncleanliness. Whether it was outside or whether it's inside, he should be burned inside.
I don't know. Is it talking about a person being burnt for?
I think it's not a person. I think it's
No,
Probably
it's sacrificial food. It's kodesh,
Yeah.
presumably,
yeah. So it should be burned. Yeah, sorry.
because you have to burn on something kodesh or like truma or anything like that becomes unclean.
We're back to you, Jordan.
Yes, you're back to me. Umache behema.
Makeh.
Makeh. There is a dagesh. Umakeh behema. Yishal mena. Umakeh adam yumat.
Oh, that's a biblical quote. It's supposed to be read. It's my mistake.
One who hits a animal will pay for it, and one who strikes a man will die. Hikish hakatuv nizke adam lenizke behema, nizke behema lenizke adam. Ma nizke behema l'tashlumin, af nizke adam l'tashlumin.
Niske is the construct plural of nezek, which means damage. Damages
Yes.
of.
Yeah, right. So the scripture likens the damage, likens Hakish, the damage of a man to the damage of an animal. And the damage of an animal to the damage of a man. What is the damage of an animal? For payment, even the damages of a man are for payment. So just as.
Yeah, just as damages caused to an animal require payment, so also damages caused to a man require payment. Yeah. Hikish should have a dagesh in the kuf. There it's ikish, sorry. Ikish.
10.
מה מי ששומע מפי הקדוש ברוך הוא מדבר ברוח הקודש צריך להתבונן בין פרשה לפרשה ובין עניין לעניין על אחת כמה וכמה הדיוט והדיוט. Hediot. Did you look up that word? Hediot. Okay.
I tried to look it up, but I didn't find anything right away, and I didn't spend a long time on it.
Right. So, and what someone hears from the mouth of the Holy Christ is he. Mi shehu is combined as one word in modern Hebrew. We drop the olive. You say mi shehu, it means someone. So what anyone hears from the mouth of the Holy Ghost is he and speaks with the Holy Spirit. He needs to consider between parasha to parasha, probably it could be a portion of the Bible, one portion of the Bible between another portion of the Bible, between one interpretation, I guess, between one issue and another. All the more so, all the more so, if it is a private, if it's a commoner from a commoner, meaning probably like a person who has no real training in the Bible. If he thinks that he's received a message from God, he needs to be really careful about speaking it out and declaring it. He needs to investigate it and find it out, especially if he has no real religious training, because he's a commoner. I think that's what it means.
Yeah, I did just find it. It's someone who's unlearned or simple in Aramaic. So.
And how is the kama v'chama here to be taken?
Alachat kama v'chama means so especially in the case of.
Okay.
I don't know. Your audio is really weird to me, Jason. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Should I put on my headphones?
So maybe draw a book for the people.
How do I sound now?
This.
Much better.
All right, so alachat kama v'chama means something like especially in the case of. I want to check Babylon to see if there's something in, what's it called? Even Evan Shoshan.
Okay.
See if it has something on alachat kama v'kama.
Oh.
You have Evan Shoshan?
Yeah, it's that one.
I do not. I've used it a couple times in the library, but
Mine is falling apart. That is kind of.
They do have the expression. Here's what it says. Alachat kama v'chama lo kol sheken bivadai u'vivadai. במקום שחיותנו אנו מתייראים במקום blah blah blah. Let's see if they have they've only got 2 examples. It's terrible.
Oh, you have examples in yours?
Yeah, and Evan Shoshan always has examples, doesn't it?
No, I only have the one volume. It doesn't have examples.
אם בערבי שבתות סתם ביום השישי הקצר על אחת כמה וכמה. This is from Bialik, Yom Shishi Aleph. If on the evenings of Sabbaths, regular Sabbaths, then on Friday that is short, on a short Friday, even more so, על אחת כמה וכמה, especially so. Or certainly so, something like that. Okay. Now we're back to you, Luke, for number 14.
Okay. רבי אומר נאמר כאן, בבואכם, ונאמר להלן בבואכם. מה בבואכם אל אוהל מועד עשה את היציאה כביאה ואת המזבח?
Isn't Mizbeach? In this one, I just changed a couple of vowels, but I put them in parentheses. I didn't change what you wrote.
No, okay, it's mizbeach. Yeah, you're right. I think it was messed up from Aramaic. Okay, את המזבח כאוהל מועד ואינו חייב אלא, that's just a typo, אלא, and בשעת העבודה, בשעת can be bishat, or it can be with a kamatz. It's all the forms are found.
Huh.
So it's not really, that one's not a mistake, but the elah is a mistake. Okay? Bishat or בשעת העבודה, אף בבואכם אל אוהל מועד, האמור כאן עשה יציאה כביאה, ואת המזבח כאוהל מועד, ולא יהיה חייב, אלא בשעת העבודה. Okay. Rabbi said, it is written here, when you go out.
When you come in.
Yeah, when you come in. Oh yeah, and you're going, and when you come in, and it's written further on, when you come in. Why? Oh no, this is the comparative.
Yeah.
Okay, like when you come in to the tent of, what's a translation?
I think they say tent of meeting.
Okay.
Ohel moed.
Okay, like when you come into the tent of meeting, that makes it the going out as the coming in. It treats the going out like an entrance, like a coming in, and the mizbeach, the altar, as the tent of meeting, and he is only liable when he's in the hour of service, in the hour of service, in the hour of cult service. Is that right?
Yeah, and like at the time when he's performing the service.
Okay. So like this one also you're entering to the tent of meeting, which is said here, treats the going out as a coming in, and treats the altar as the tent of meeting, and he shall not be liable except for when he is doing his cult service in the hour of his
Mhm.
cult performance.
Avodah can also just be like worship, like if it's
Okay.
us.
Yeah, that's how I would have done it.
Oh, I thought it was talking about priests.
It probably is.
Because
Probably it's talking about priests performing the cult service. But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
for us, it could also mean worship. Like there's a certain prayer book that's called Avodat Halev. It means worship
Okay.
of the heart.
Okay. Yeah,
Well,
no.
because it's general, right? Like the service that you do in the temple is
Yeah.
generalized to all worship.
Yeah, and we talk about La'avod et Hashem, to worship God.
Yeah, avodah zarah.
Yeah.
Right.
Foreign
Foreign
worship.
worship.
So the one I have to change there is Mizbeach. The other one's on Elah. But these Sha'a, I found all three of the forms, so it's not.
So would it be accented like a segolet, b'sha'at avodah?
I think so. With the
That's interesting.
patach. But there's also one with the kamatz.
Yeah, I appreciated your German footnote.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Sind belegt.
Is German your native tongue?
Not really, but it's the one I write in the most and speak the most. So
Awesome.
it's I did that so I can reuse it maybe later. So
Okay. So Va'af Hashem Chara Ba'am. I guess probably because it's biblical, it's probably actually Adonai there, Yahweh, not Hashem, but Melamed Shalach Alehem Hamakom Makakasha Shalo Haya Kayotse Bo Miom Shiyatsu Mimitzraim. Okay, so it teaches that God sent upon them a heavy blow
Or plague.
which was not like Kiyotsebo, like is that which was not like those of the Exodus is kind of the idea, which is not like the going out from the time of the going out from Egypt.
Yeah, you don't need the Kiyotsebo, just means something similar to it. So there was nothing similar to it from the day when
from the
they
day
left
of the
Egypt.
going out of Egypt.
Yeah. I wanted to point out, because it's funny, yesterday in my intermediate course, we read Psalm chapter 2. And in the last verse of Psalm chapter 2 was something that I had forgotten was there. It says, Nashkuvar pen ye'enaf betovdu derech. It says ye'enaf. Ye'enaf is the actual root of that word af. Anger, heat. The anger of the Lord will flared up against the people, or was kindled against the people. Af. The root is enough.
Mhm.
And so the verb ye'enaf is appears in second chapter of Psalms, which is cool. Ye'enaf.
And when you add a suffix, it also shows up for apav.
Yep. The or apo.
Apo or apav, yeah, either one, yeah.
That the pay is doubled because the nun is assimilated.
Okay.
Very nice. Verse 18, and then there's just one more. Number 18, excuse me. Vayikra Yaakov el banav. Jacob called to his sons. Genesis chapter 49. מאחר שהוכיחן כל אחד ואחד בפני עצמו, חזר וקראם כולם כאחד. I think it's using להוכיח here is to reprove, like to tell them, no. אמר להם, שמא מחלוקת על מי שאמר והיה העולם. אמרו לו, שמע ישראל אבינו. I think that's like saying God forbid. שמע ישראל אבינו, כשם שאין בלבך מחלוקת כך, או אין בלבך מחלוקת, כך אין בלבנו מחלוקת על מי שאמר והיה העולם. So, מאחר ש normally means since he had reproved them, each and every one, like individually, he called them again, all of them as one. He called them all together as one. And he said to them, lest there be a machloket, diverse opinion, disagreement in your heart about who is the one who spoke and the world came to be. That is, you have disagreement in your heart about who God is. And they said, God forbid, Father, just as in your heart there is no divergence of opinion, so also in our heart there is no divergence of opinion about who God is. There's no strife or contention about who God is. We know who he is. Luke, it's your turn.
Okay. ועשית עולותיך הבשר והדם, מקיש, that's good, okay, משווה, מקיש בשר לדם, מה דם בזריך, אף בשר בזריך. And you shall do, what is olotecha? Is that the yolks?
Your whole burnt offerings.
Yeah, olot, okay. And you shall perform your whole burnt offerings of flesh and blood?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, here's an analogy. There's an analogy between flesh and blood. So, like the blood, like with the blood, there's a sprinkling. Also with the flesh, there's I guess a sprinkling. I don't know what that means.
Or maybe throwing, like you throw it.
Yeah. It's the throwing that they have to throw. The priests had to throw it pretty high, the pieces. So I guess that's it's playing with the word zrika, I think. The sprinkling was like this, and the throwing was some kind of special. It's like a skill they had to have because it was heavy.
I wonder how they would get the meat down when it came time for them to eat it.
What's that?
I wonder how they would end up getting the meat down when it was time to eat it if they threw it up onto the altar and they couldn't.
Oh no, this is the whole burnt offering. I think the whole thing was burnt.
Okay. So they had a different area where they would throw the whole burnt offering and not grab for it.
Yeah,
they had a tong, I think, that would reach in and grab meat that they could pull out.
I don't know about that, but I know that what's probably here is it's this great skill they had to have that was like higher than a basketball court. They had to throw the whole pieces up and put it down there. I think that's what it is.
Sounds mythological. All right, so זה סוף יחידה כ"ו וסוף שיעור, the end of the lesson. Anything you want to comment on regarding the lesson? How do you feel about it?
Well, I mean, it's for everybody who's going to be watching. I think it's, I think the book could be improved upon, but I think the that our methods really is pretty good so far. I think I'm seeing a lot more things even when I read the rabbinical literature because of the grammar.
hmm
So it's not all remedial, but it is kind of. At first, I thought it's not worth it, but it is worth to really flesh out some of the meanings here.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if nothing else, it'll give us a good basis from which to jump into text. I went out after our lesson, the day after, on Friday last week, and I did search for a copy of Nida. I wanted the Schoenstein edition, and I couldn't find it. I didn't go to major religious bookstores, but I did find a couple here in Tel Aviv. And instead, I just bought a copy of the 6 volumes, the 6 orders of the Mishnah. So I have all of the Mishnah with Nikud. It's probably the standardized Nikud and not Kaufman.
oh, the
And
Albeck.
I'm not sure, but I'll pull it out and I'll show it to you later.
Okay.
And it has a commentary with it, but the commentary looks really dumb. Like I was reading through parts. I don't think that's it. Let me grab it. Since I've
Okay.
mentioned it, I'll be right back.
That's good.
And I was going to push to spend at least a little time on the Gemara of the first Mishnah.
Oh, for what? For Nida?
For Nida, yeah, because there's a lot of important stuff in there.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you could even look at the Yerushalmi without the. It's hard. The Yerushalmi is really hard. Oh, I think this is Kahati. I know what this isn't it?
I have.
I think it is.
This is my Kahati. This is the
Oh
English
yeah,
Kahati.
this is different. Yeah, but there's a Hebrew
This
version.
says שישה סדרי משנה מנוקדים עם פירוש רבנו עובדיה מברטנורה.
Bertanoro. It's a small town next to Bologna in Italy. Bertanoro. Yes,
Okay.
you gotta get. Yeah.
ועם פירוש עיקר תוספות יום טוב.
Okay.
I don't.
So it's basically a religious version. It'll help you a little bit. But Bertanoro, they still have a plaque on his house. I went and looked at it because there was a conference in Bertanoro and there's nothing there but 15 restaurants and this little house where Ovadia worked.
That's funny.
Yeah, in Bertanoro. There's a little plaque there in Hebrew and Italian, I think.
They don't, normally in rabbinic commentaries, like commentaries on the Mikaot Gedolot and whatever, above each column, they will say what the commentary is. They'll say like Mitzudat David, and they will say Ramban, Nachmanides, and they will say Rashi or whatever. Here they don't say above each column who is the commentator. Like they say that there are 2 commentators.
Mm-hmm.
That is Ovadia, that one, and then whoever Ikar Tosfot Yom Tov. I guess that I named this guy gave to himself. But they don't say whose is whose. That's funny. Like
there's probably a traditional who's inside, who's outside, but I think you could tell by reading 2 or 3 sentences who was the older, who was Bertanoro. That's
maybe they say somewhere in the introduction. I'll have to read through it.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting text to compare. I think the Albeck edition is the one. I mean, I got it in my studies, and it's a decent one. But
it's all Hebrew.
Yeah, it's all Hebrew, and he wrote there's commentary at the bottom of the page. There's an introduction to every tractate, and there's also something in the back where he has extended notes, and he has like 50 pages on each tractate of extended notes. So it's really, there's 325.
So this one is a lot more limited.
Yeah,
like there's no introduction at the beginning of the tractates.
Yeah, the Albeck is about $300.
It is
for a set. So.
Oh my God! Well, maybe if you just go to Mossad Bialik, you'll get it for like $70. I got it in Israel. I have 2 of them. I gave one to one of my students, and then I think she quit. So
Who quit what?
So Albeck
She
wrote-
quit Hebrew?
What's that?
What did she quit? What do you mean she quit?
Well, well, this is going on YouTube, so I don't know how much I should say, but she's not around the university anymore, so
Oh,
we don't know.
Well, I found, do you know Peter Gentry?
I know him, yeah,
course.
from conferences.
Yeah, so I have his Hebrew Bible because he gave it to a student in Toronto who quit, sold it to a bookstore, and I found it at the bookstore.
what does it mean quit? They quit studying? They quit Hebrew? What does that mean?
Well, I mean, he quit. He no longer wanted his Hebrew Bible.
Wow.
Yeah,
But,
that's-
All right.
But yeah, then I have a friend who knows him, and so I got him to ask, and he said, "Yep, that's my old Hebrew Bible," and I gave it to someone who,
he's a rather conservative guy.
yes, very conservative.
That's he always tries to talk to me about Henoch literature. This is the Mavot Talmudim. It's Albeck, and this is the place where you go if you want to know when certain rabbis lived, because there's and even the English edition of Stemberger and Strack.
Does he base it on the
Strack and
religious
Stanford.
tradition, or does he actually look at things historically?
Oh, that's a hard question, because we are based on the letter of Rav Shirira HaGaon, and then also Rambam, but
Not
also
Saadia Hagaon. Who is it?
No,
Shuri,
no, not Sadia. It's the one. It's the famous one. Shirira HaGaon wrote a letter to the community in Tunisia, and they asked him when was the Mishnah written, or when was it written, and he answered all these questions and had and basically what they've done is like Frankel and Albeck have based it on the tradition, but also upon the traditions that this student was a student of this one and this, and so you can pretty much get the generation right. But his is the most detailed list. It's like 200 pages, just the lists of the rabbis in the different generations. And he goes with 5 generations in Israel of the Amoraim.
Yeah.
So that's
Well, there are things that are said all the time in the tradition that I have a very hard time accepting, like the claim that the temple was destroyed by the Babylonians on the 9th of Av, and then by the Romans on the 9th of Av. I have a hard time swallowing the idea that the temple was destroyed on the same calendar date. 508, 600 years apart. That's hard for me to accept. That seems mythologized.
Yeah, that does. But there's other things like there's some kind of Orsikinos was the governor in Syria, and in 351 to 354 there was some kind of revolt, and it's mentioned in the Talmud, and so they know when these rabbis were lived during this time. And there's a few traditional dates, like Rabbi Yochanan died in 279. That's a basic, and Rabbi Yehuda Hanassi goes to about 225. So it's based on tradition and a little bit of cross-referencing the history. So
yeah, because I mean that at the end of the day, it's all kind of tradition in some sense. It's just more reliable and less reliable.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You were mentioning this book.
What is that one?
What's this book?
The Streckenstenberger.
Yes, but the problem with that one is that it's a translation of like the 7th edition, and now there's a 9th edition in German. And the 9th edition in German is 2011, and it's already outdated.
Yeah,
So,
no, the material is, what the latest thing in here you'll find is like, 1990s in terms of literature, but it's a good
I feel like I'm out of my depth with you guys. You guys have got so much going on.
Oh, I like to read the text with you, especially in Midrash, because you know the Bible text so well.
That's really, I have to say that's all I know. All I know is the Bible, and and I know modern Hebrew, but when you get past that, I'm kind of like struggling.
No, but you're at the source. You could buy. We'll get you the list, and you can buy slowly. You're at the source. I wish I could go buy the Talmud Schoenstein, but it's so hard to go find it here.
Well, I mean, the guy at the bookstore where I bought these, he told me he would order it for me, that it would be 250 shekels per volume, which
Whoa.
seems kind of steep. Yeah, I'm sure that I can go to Bnei Brak and find it for like half price or something.
Yeah, you'll get it for 130 on the internet.
Yeah.
130.
So, but the delivery to Israel would be a problem. But I'm sure I can find it in Bnei Brak. We have enough English speakers who study Talmud that it shouldn't be a problem.
Oh yeah.
But
no,
I just going to Bnei Brak is a nightmare.
Okay.
I mean, it's fine to go there. I just feel uncomfortable. I don't feel scared or anything. It's fine, but I just, I'm not a religious person.
I went to Mea Shearim in swimming shorts.
Why? Oh my goodness.
Yes. And one of the rabbis in Berlin saw me, and he said he needed some help carrying some books. So I went into different synagogues with him in my swimming shorts.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
And
Wow, look
Mea
at you.
Shearim, I was with him for about an hour and a half.
And you didn't get some funny looks?
Yeah, really, quite a bit. But yeah, the
Wow.
one Jordan showed is the best one, and somebody needs to actually update it. If somebody can speak German and wants to translate it, it'd be a good little project.
I can't speak German for anything.
But
You know what I'm reminded of? You saw that movie Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves with Kevin Costner. I think it was at the beginning of that movie where before he went to the Crusades, he was given to some tutor, I think. And the tutor asked him if he speaks Latin, and he says no. And he says, we shall have to remedy that.
yeah.
And like every time I think about myself not speaking Latin and not speaking German, I'm like, you got to fix that. You got to fix that. But it's easier said than done.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
I
learning
wanna-
languages isn't easy.
I've put off Italian for such a long time now. I don't know what
You're going to pick it up?
I can understand quite a bit, and I can also speak a little bit of Latin, because with the children we do a little bit of Latin with these Latin books, but it's not as good as the other one. So yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, some people can speak Arabic and.
Well,
Yes.
I had to read a Catalan book.
Wow.
There's this guy who refuses to publish in anything but Catalan, and he's the only person who publishes on Berber Poetics. And I discovered that Catalan is basically French, but spelled really weird.
Wow. Yeah, that's. I learned Spanish, but I don't pick up any Spanish books because it's not a. I don't know. It's just you only have so much time in the day, and if you have like Hebrew and Arabic and whatever, you can't make time.
Well, Steve Krashen talks all about the importance of free voluntary reading for language acquisition. And I think that if I just picked up Latin and just read, I've studied, a year's worth of grammar. I finished Wheelock. I finished the first volume of Lingua Latina per se illustrata. I should be able to just pick up Latin and just wade through it and improve, but I'm lazy. Because I focus on Hebrew. Hebrew is my thing, not Latin.
There has to be something you want to read. That's the trick.
Mm-hmm. I think that if I read the Orberg first volume again, just sit down and read it and just spent time reading until I felt it was good before moving on, I think I would improve that way. The problem was that I was in a group and we were doing, every week we were doing one chapter in Wheelock and one chapter in Orberg. And so I just feel that I pushed through the end of it too quickly because the chapters get long.
Mm-hmm.
This
didn't spend
Ordo
enough time in it.
is the Familia Romana. Is that the one?
Yeah, that's the
trying
first
to-
volume.
Oh, I'm trying to get that.
It's
But we
really
had-
good.
We had lectures that are in Latin. So, I mean, and we had like a little group where you go and you talk in Latin but I only went there like 2 semesters, and then I went to the Greek ones more. It's kind of weird, I mean, the Latin ones were fun, and I could understand the professor, but to ask a question or something, I wouldn't have asked a question. But the Greek ones were fun. He showed us books about ancient Greek art and talked about Plato and Aristotle and in ancient Greek, and we read Lucian and translated into Attic and then into Dorian and all kinds of Doric and all kinds of fun stuff.
You were translating from one Greek dialect to the next.
Yeah, or Attic
Mm.
tragedy into normal prose, stuff like that. I mean, there's some guys.
Wow.
There's some people that just are amazing that can do that kind of stuff.
And that's really good practice if you can take a text and not put it in your language, but rephrase it in that language.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Mhm.
true of Hebrew. If you can not just read the Mishnah, but then, express it in Mishnaic Hebrew, that's much better than translating it.
But what if you translate it into modern Hebrew?
I mean, it's better than translating it into English, what I do.
But there's some crazy guys in Jerusalem that speak Greek, I never got to the Greek speaking group because they always, I don't know, they never, it was so secretive back then. It was the forerunner to the Paulus Institute. The ones in Aramaic and Hebrew, like biblical Hebrew, like Randall Booth, they are also kind of a little bit.
I
Yeah.
met Booth in Jerusalem one time. I don't remember why I went, but I made it a point to go and see him while I was there, and I happened to run into him at the end of one of his classes where he was speaking Greek to his class. And then he started speaking Greek to me, and I'm like, why is he doing this? If you speak, I pushed, so we moved to Hebrew because
Okay.
it's not easy for me to understand spoken Greek. I think the thing is that I feel comfortable with the way that I pronounce Greek, and I feel that it's idiosyncratic. Like I came up with my own way because I don't like Erasmus, and I have problems pronouncing omicron iota as e or as e.
Mm.
I want it to be oi,
Okay.
that kind of thing. So it keeps me separated from the speaking groups.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. There's no Egyptian speaking groups.
Oh,
Although we tried to start one in Toronto, but there was only me and the other guy who wanted to start it that were ever interested in trying to speak Middle Egyptian. So.
and what did you do? Like, what is it? Petal? What is it? Petal is like, who are you? Petal, Petal 2 or something like this?
Yeah. And I mean, sometimes we would have no idea how to say what we wanted to say, and so then we'd, spend an hour trying to figure out how the ancient Egyptians would say it.
Did you know there's ancient Egyptian in this? I think it's called Assassin's Creed.
Yes.
And
Yeah. It's pretty good. It's a lot of, and that game is way too much fun for an Egyptologist.
Yeah. And I listened to like the commercial because I don't know why I don't play video games, but I listened to the commercial and I was like, they saying like a Remich Kemme or something. And I was like, this is Egypt. This is like real.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. Remich Kame.
Yeah. But it may be like.
Yeah, of course. There's no ta on the end anymore by that in the
Yeah.
Ptolemaic period. It's Rema.
Yeah. For man.
I
yeah,
have no
woman.
idea what
Woman,
you
yeah.
mean.
Yeah. But
Mm.
okay, I mean, we're almost finished with this one. I think we should also find a good format for the Mishnah Nida, where we can read the Gemara also, and maybe like
My Aramaic is not, it's almost non-existent. It's not good enough to read Gemara. I can read Daniel chapter 7.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and the Aramaic of Gemara is pretty weird at times.
Yeah, I understand that it's more like classroom
Kasavar,
notes.
that threw me for a loop the first time I read it.
Which
What's
one?
kasavar?
Kasavar,
Oh yeah, kasavo.
yeah,
It
it's a
means-
participle.
It's a participle. Yeah, they always have the ka.
in Babylonian Aramaic, the participles have a prefix kof,
Oh, really? Instead of
Yeah.
mem?
which is also apparently in modern Iraqi Arabic.
Hmm.
Oh wow. Nice.
So
Isn't there something weird about the? Oh, I guess it's just the word to be. In the future, it has a lamed prefix in the Bible. Lahave, leheve.
Leheve, yeah.
yeah, they
I think that also appears in Syriac and Jewish Babylonian Aramaic sometime. I don't know.
But they say that the
Mhm.
explanation for it is the avoidance of writing the yud he vav he. So how would
Yeah.
that come out in these other in the Syriac and such?
Well, that's my Aramaic teacher, Amir Harak, and he always said that doesn't hold any water, that argument. He said it's some kind of phonological thing. It has nothing to do with the name. It's just yeah, but the problem is there's a lot of Gemara that goes with the first Mishnah.
Oh yeah, I know. That they always comment on the beginning of books quite a bit, and then it dies out in the end. It's also in
Yeah.
the church fathers is the same.
If I'm going to read any of the Gemara, it's going to be like alongside English translation. I really don't have any other option. Aramaic
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
that's-
are not.
That's
Are not
well, I
close.
mean, to read Nita and all the weird things that they talk about and specialized concepts, you basically need a good commentary. So the Schottenstein is probably suitable.
Would you mind like putting together the presentations for that? I know that you're more well trained in Nida, in the Gemara and stuff, and I'd rather take a back seat to that if you don't mind.
Well, yeah. So actually, I was going to ask at some point how much do you want to be just reading and discussing, and how much kind of what do you want it to look like?
Well, I think that from our perspective from the beginning, it's been more of a linguistic pursuit. We need to understand what's being said, so we need to understand the concepts, but more focus on pushing through and getting through the text, I think, and finding what oddities we find in the language, and how the expressions that we're learning in this textbook come out in that, and maybe things that we don't even see here.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't care about the concepts of like menstruation and impurity, and
Retroactive impurities.
this has
all the different
no
levels.
application in my life whatsoever. So
Yeah. No, it's really only interesting because it's complicated. I mean, in my opinion, that's what makes it engaging.
Mhm. Mhm. At some point, I think it would be great if we're going to be messing with Gemara. I think it would be great if we could at least read through, for the purpose of trying to understand the Aramaic, of the portions of Sanhedrin that deal with the Jesus disagreement, like the whole Jesus, Yeshua Notze that was hung on the eve of Passover and all of that. I'd love to become more familiar with that text at some point.
So all
I don't
the
know.
books-
There,
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a book on it by Pietro Schäfer, and he wrote
In
Jesus
English?
Talmud. He's got an English and a German version now. Everything he writes is in two languages now. But yeah, I think I've got both the English and the German here. But there's that's a famous. Those are famous stuff. But I mean, that's kind of a. I'll see if I can put something together on that one, but it'll be after we read Nida. It'll be like in like a year or so. But
No
I would
problem.
like to see like.
I think we're this group. I think we're in for the long haul. I mean, at least the three of us and whoever just happens to come and go.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm reading through Yair Zakovich, his book about riddles in the scriptures.
Wir Chidot Mine Kedem. Okay.
It's he wrote a book with Avigdor Shinan called Lo kach katuv b'Tanakh, means that's not how it's written in the Tanakh. And then they wrote a second volume called Gam kach lo katuv b'Tanakh. It's not written like that in the scriptures either. And that was translated into English by Yair's wife. What's her name? Valerie? I'm not sure, but she translated the 2 volumes into English as From Gods to God. And it was about how scriptures were changed, like the original stories that are behind the scriptures were adapted into the scriptures to give a message that was different from the original message of the stories. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. But now I'm doing his riddles book with another person online. This is fun. Just
Yeah,
if we're thinking about what
you're
we're
at the
reading.
source there. I mean, Avigdor Shinan is really good in Midrash, I guess. I mean, I never took a class with him, but I knew some people that took classes with him there. He's written quite a few good books.
Yeah.
So it's good.
But anyway, that was, I don't know why I brought that up. It just jumped into my head. But what I was saying is that I think we're in for the long haul, and this is something that's not like, this isn't like a course that needs to be done in 15 weeks or something. This is, not leisure, but certainly something that we're going to be learning from that I'm really appreciating already. Like I've had this book sitting on my shelf for 5 years and never really touched it. So I appreciate that we're working through it, and I appreciate that we're going somewhere. So.
Yeah, I would. I don't know. I think with Nida, we'd have to look at all the parallel texts too. I mean, not just Gemara, but like not look at them in depth. But I would do like a synopsis. Sometimes I do a synopsis of Mishnah Tosefta, and just like underline.
I noticed that you tend to, even in this textbook, you tend to look up the sources and try to get the background. And Jordan does the same thing. You guys?
That's important.
Do you guys write things down somewhere when you do this?
Yeah, if I make notes, then yeah. But it's important with Nida because it's the only tractate from Taharot in the Talmud, in either Talmud. It cites a lot of other Mishnayot. So
Okay.
like within the discussion of the first Mishnah, they cite Mikvaot, they cite Kalim. There's a lot of other things that they bring in.
I wonder if they mark those citations here. Let's see.
Oh, probably not in that one.
No,
probably not. Yeah.
Well, and there's many citations of some passages.
Okay. Do you guys know the website where all the parallel texts are for the Yerushalmi?
Nope.
No, there's a good one. Moskowitz in Tel Aviv, professor in Tel Aviv. He wrote all it's called Makbilot. It's something because in the Yerushalmi that they cite the Tosefta and the Mishnah and whatever other stuff, and he has he wrote it down in a nice list. I'll send you the link on the Facebook page.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I just lectured for 2 hours on the Yerushalmi, just about the date and the name and whatever. So I'm kind of up to date on that. I sent Eduardo my handout in German, and he said, "Oh, I can't really look at it." It's okay.
A handout on the Yerushalmi?
Yes, I cited Epstein, all the newest literature I could find, and I want to read Sussman because every time he writes an article, it's 100 pages. So he's got 3 articles on the Yerushalmi that I need to work through. So that's basically 3 books in Hebrew. But
because
I read a lot of it. Yeah.
Because the last thing I read about the Yerushalmi was in the Stemberger.
So, yeah, that's probably like way outdated. Well,
I mean, I know, yeah, it is. It's fairly out of date. I'm sure there's a lot more recent things that have been said. So,
yeah, there's a few. I mean, I'm not really up to date, but my handout was 10 pages. So,
I'd appreciate it if you send it.
Yeah, I'll send it on the Facebook page, and there's a lot of quotations there, and I take the view that the Yerushalmi is 360, 370, and stuff like that. So I don't know.
What's that mean? The dates?
The redaction date is about 370, not 410 like Epstein or 420. So a
I
little
don't
bit-
see why that would make a huge difference. myself.
Oh, it makes a big difference because the patriarch was no longer in existence in 429, and the Jewish culture in the Galilee was going kind of downhill.
Okay.
And you've got, you know, the stuff Julianos that you refer to. It changes kind of well, think about what happens in 50 years. If you read a text in 1950 and 2000, the context is totally different. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
that's my
Well, and
kind
that
of,
presumably has implications on the redaction process, because
exactly. Yeah.
it's been commonly argued that it's a result of that declining culture that then they decide to put it all, formalize it.
Yeah, but it's that's a
If that's not the case, then why did they start writing it down?
I don't know if we can answer the question why did they write it down. That we can answer the question till when did they accumulate stuff to redact. I think that's the major question. Like, yeah, and there's a lot more to learn, I think, about the Yerushalmi, but that's kind of my. I like the Bavli a little bit, but it's a weird culture. I like this Roman background. So,
Well, maybe I'll try and read the Yerushalmi for Nida.
oh man, it's probably really difficult.
It probably is.
also-
I'm
it's
not saying
also
I'm going to
Aramaic,
keep reading
yeah?
it, but I'll try to
Yeah.
start reading it.
Yeah.
Do we have a pointed version of the Yerushalmi?
Yes, Guggenheimer.
Do we have something online that you can access?
Actually, yeah, I have a PDF file of most of his. I don't know if he has Nida already.
I know.
I'll look.
I don't
I'll
think the Schottenstein has gotten to Nida.
For Yerushalmi, I don't know either. I think. Well, I haven't even checked it with that one because I'm trying to get the Yebamot for Schottenstein because I need that but it's this version right here. It's Guggenheimer, and he's got a pretty decent commentary, and the text is pointed. So, I mean, it's okay. It's not, and he always points at Rebbe with Segol.
Mm-hmm.
So, who knows?
As long as it's Segol and not Shva. Segol,
Yeah.
I can process Segol. I can't process Shva before a bet. That's hard.
Is that published by De Gruyter?
Yes, it is, and it's
Right.
yeah, you can see that.
They did
Oh,
that.
you can't see that. Yeah, Walter de Gruyter, yeah, and it's very expensive. Like it's like 100 per volume.
Yeah, on the De Gruyter website they don't have they just have up to Nezkeen.
Yeah, I don't think he's there yet, and he's old. He's like his wife's like 91, just published a book. He's probably 93 or something. I don't know. He's probably not going to finish it, but
Yeah,
that's
no,
it. I don't know. I mean, I would like to just look at if there's a parallel text in the Tosefta or in the Midrash. Maybe I'll just make a synopsis and we can just keep going and look linguistically, because that's kind of the thing that Jason wants to do. But you can spend one whole year on 3 pages. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean,
Let's not do that.
you can spend your whole life on one tractate, and
Yeah,
people do.
that's too much though. But yeah.
Well, I have to write up a presentation for different methods of academic transcription and why we should use it, why it's important, and present it to my students tonight.
Did you get the notes I made? The Origin has some strange one. Seems like he has the Shva on there too.
The Shva for I tried. That's like a 400-page thing, and the font is broken and ugly.
Oh, you mean Kimchi or whatever.
Kimchi, David Kimchi. That's who that was.
Yes.
He's a major commentator on the Bible.
Yeah, that's his grammar.
I can't access it. It's too ugly.
Okay.
My eyes don't look at text that's not well written, like not fully formed.
Yeah.
The letters are broken because of the scan, and then my eyes don't process them.
Okay.
Like I feel like I'm the whole time trying to piece the letter together to figure out what letter it is.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't read him, but I would like to look in there.
If I had a good copy of Kimchi's
Yeah.
grammar, I would definitely read it.
Yeah.
Definitely read it.
I think
Like he and Rashi to me are the best commentators on the Pshat. Like they're the best at getting to the meaning of the text based on the grammar.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't know about Rashi about that one.
Yeah, Rashi's really big on the literal meaning of the text. That's what he focused on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's often very helpful.
Okay.
Anyway, I have a lot of work to do. So
next week,
Yeah.
Good chat.
the leave-ins again.
I really enjoyed the post-exercise chat. I think this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's good. But don't maybe cut that out for Facebook. I mean for YouTube. I don't know.
I don't know how to edit videos.
Okay, put the whole thing up there.
I wish I knew how to edit videos. I just record and upload. That's all
Okay.
I know how to do.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right.
All right.
We'll see you guys later.
Next week. Bye.
Bye.